I am Abby. I'm TopKnot Stitcher. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. True confessions times. I just recorded about 10 minutes and then I realized that I was talking so fast that I was getting out of breath and like lightheaded. And I realized I had no idea what I had talked about. I was just like going, and I hadn't even talked any stitching. It was bad. Not bad, but not what I wanted. So we're back, we're redoing it, and let's jump into things. I'm super excited to be here, hence why I was talking so fast before. It's been a while since we've had like a proper update. I guess it was like 6 weeks ago, because it was like mid-August. I did my collaboration video with Mitch Stitch, and that was super fun, but at the time I had very little of my own stitching that I could share because I was doing a model stitch for my own design, my own like super secret big deal design that we'll talk about in like a month or so. And then I also went from that right into a gift that I couldn't show and another model stitch for someone else. So I had a lot of like deadline stitching, which I don't normally have like back to back like that. But anyway, all that to say, today I have piles of stuff on the floor. We've got whips, we've got new starts, which are also whips. We've got finishes, we've got FFOs, we have UFOs. I went through my stash and I pulled out a bunch of projects that I hadn't actually started yet, but had like kitted up or partially kitted up for myself. And I thought through like, okay, we've had this sitting ready to go for like a year and a half now. Are you gonna stitch it? Do you want to stitch it? And the answer was no to a few. So I like unkitted a bunch of things and I already have those patterns in my D-stash because I didn't really think they were a big deal to show. There were a couple that I unkitted, but I'm gonna hold on to the patterns. It was just kind of like not right now, but I'm not quite ready to part with you. And then there were 3 projects that I started in various stages of starting and completion that I'm giving up on, and there's a surprising one in there. So I am gonna show those. I have a giveaway. Woo! We're gonna talk just like a couple favorite things not favorite things about quarantine, but a couple favorite things that are like getting me through and bringing me joy in quarantine. We don't get too political and too, outside of cross stitch and like happy fun life chit chat, but I am providing a disclaimer, I guess. I don't know if that's what I even want to call it because I don't think it needs a disclaimer. But if you're a person who doesn't really like having real world stuff like that in your cross stitch consumption, this isn't the video for you, because we're going to talk about RBG, we're going to talk about Breonna Taylor, we're going to talk about Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to get super specific into politics, but I'm going to share a couple things that have been on my heart recently as I share with you how I have processed that through some stitching. So if you can be here and say nice things or respectful things, cool. If you can't, then you know where the X is and you can just go find yourself another video. No offense taken. Anyway, we're gonna talk about probably not any books because I haven't really been reading during the pandemic because my brain is tired. I might talk about a couple podcasts and TV shows that I've been loving. I have some shout outs. I usually forget about those, but I'm gonna try to remember. I have like a list, but there's nothing like physical that goes with them, so hopefully I remember. We'll talk about Jam at some point. I gave him some catnip, so he's like snoozing in a corner right now. But yeah, I think mostly we're good to go. So life's been pretty good. It's kind of like as good as it could be given 2020. Jam and I are healthy. I got my daily Diet Coke because I did my daily chores. I think I talked about this in a recent-ish video, but I have gone through different phases over my lifetime, really, with Diet Coke, and I have loved it since I was a kid. I think it tastes better than regular Coke. I love getting me a large Diet Coke from McDonald's. It does taste better there. I don't know why. But anytime I'm out doing errands, that's like one of the things that like motivates me to get going and get out of the house. I typically like don't keep it in my house because I don't necessarily have the self-control to not drink too much of it. That's not really true anymore, but you know, like 22-year-old Abby was just like, oh, I can have as much Diet Coke as I want. What? But like it's like my drink of choice on airplanes, whenever I'm next on an airplane. Not usually, like when I'm at restaurants and stuff, I tend to just drink water, partly because like a Coke at a restaurant is like $3, and I'm just like, why? Sometimes at the movies, usually fast food, which I don't eat that much, or just like picking up a Diet Coke at McDonald's. So all of that to say, I don't normally buy cases of Diet Coke, like canned Diet Coke, but during quarantine, it's been part of my daily ritual. So I have a daily Diet Coke. I aim to drink it. It's 1:00 right now, and that's like kind of perfect timing because I will drink it and then I will power nap and then go back to work. Sometimes I save it till after my nap. It kind of just depends on the morning, but in the morning while I am kind of like transitioning into my work day, or since this was a Saturday, like transitioning into my weekend work day because I did some shop stuff, I write up a quick little list of like 5 or so chores around my house that I need to do, and I don't have to complete all of them. That's the secret, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. But I'll complete like 3 or 4 of them. Or usually as I'm writing the list, I'm like, you should do 2 of these, or you should do 6 of these 10 things, or whatever it is. But it's a totally arbitrary system. Basically, as long as I've done one thing, then I will have earned my Diet Coke. But then after lunch, I get a Diet Coke, and it's super fun and refreshing and delightful. And it makes me really happy. And I have really just been on a campaign for spreading joy through the little things. Like, it's fall, and so I have been counting down the days till fall. But then, of course, it's been kind of hot here. So now I'm like patiently waiting. I have everything set aside to make chili, and I'm going to make my favorite 4-bean chili. As soon as it's a little bit colder, I'm going to put on my favorite fall album, which is like basically a kid's album from my folk singer legend, John McCutcheon. And it is super fun. I put that on, I listen to the whole album all the way through, I make chili, I dance around. It's the best, but I haven't been able to do it yet. And recently someone was like, no, I'm not going to do that with you. And I was like, we need to find little things that make us happy. That makes me happy. Okay, we've already been talking 9 minutes. We need to get into some stitching, but first let me show you one other little thing that brings me joy. And that is my new shirt. Oh, it's Halloween Town. I got this shirt thanks to my evil twin, Ryan. She sent me the link and I immediately bought it. I will put it down below. It like ships from China, so I have feelings on fast fashion and all kinds of things, and I generally buy my clothes through ThredUp, which is like an online thrift store, which is not like the best, but they're at least secondhand. You can also filter on ThredUp. You can filter to only show your like local warehouse, which I like to do when I can, because then it's a slightly smaller footprint, but it doesn't always work. I mean, like, they don't always have things I need, but also it's a pandemic, so I really don't need that many clothes. So this is the first item of clothing I've bought in a really long time. But again, it brings me joy. So a little bit against my principles, but makes me super, super happy. So it's all about balance, you know? Let's get into it. We have so much to share. I'm going to have to pause for Diet Coke sips. There's not really a good place for this. Okay. We're going to start with whips and new starts, I think. That's the closest pile, so that's going to be the pile. First up, in a bag from Diana, it is Kismet. She has already, or is about to, I'm not sure, or maybe it's Emily, I don't know, post some bags on Emily Eclectic Possessions Facebook group. So if you are in need of super awesome bags, that's a good place to look. I got this one at the Arizona retreat last year because cats. Of course I did. And it's a vinyl front one, which I'm back into, the vinyl front bags. I go through phases where I don't like them because they don't hold a Q-snap as well. Like this was in there like all crooked like. Anyway, that's a personal problem. This is something that Mitchie showed in our last video. She got this for me as a gift at StitchCon 2019. We were gonna start it. I think we had eventually planned we were gonna start it at this year's Arizona retreat, which got postponed, and then StitchCon, which was postponed. And then on our last video, she said we should do it for her birthday, which is Christmas, but then she started hers, and so I started mine. So we are using an Under the Sea fabrics in the color Tarnish. It's so gorgeous. I am really happy with how it's showing up right there because that is what it looks like, and I am obsessed because it's like fun and colorful. It's also sparkly, which you can't really tell. But it is like neutral, but really fun and exciting, but without being like too distracting and crazy. I love it. I was working on these petals last night while talking to Mitchie, and I kept being like, oh no, I made a mistake. And then like I would rip part of it out and then be like, oh, actually it wasn't wrong. I just can't read a pattern apparently. So yeah, not too far, but I am envisioning that I'll come up with some areas like this that will then just need to be filled in, because I really like having projects that have, like if I pick this up and I'm like, ugh, I don't feel like counting right now, I can just fill in a flower. And if I pick this up and I'm like, ooh, yes, I can go add more words, or there's like swirly swirls and a border and other flowers and a bird and leaves, all kinds of things. Plus I love this fabric. I love it so much. Needle Minder, TopKnot Stitcher shop. I think I have those on my website and not my Etsy, or both. I'm not sure. Ta-da! So, all right, we can do this. We're good at this. That was la-di-da. We're stitching it in MPIs. We changed a couple of the colors so they would work with the fabric. Anything else I'm supposed to tell you? It's 32 count. This is all out of order of what I should tell you, but I'm a little rusty. Evil twin tote bag full of whips. I also, okay, good. That's the bag that has things to start soon. This project I showed, you can't really see it because it says vacay vibes. This project I showed with Mitchie, I haven't worked on it since, so there's not much to show, but it's Moon Dance by Kathy Barrick. But basically this bag is like all the things that I want to focus on, including the new things that I want to start, but things I want to focus on this month-ish, or maybe like maybe it should be like finished by the end of 2020. I like that idea. I like it a lot. Okay, let's keep going. This one I might have also, I think I did show with Mitchie. I haven't worked on it a whole lot, unfortunately. but it is Together Against Racism. I've added a little bit to the flowers. Again, like this is an area now I can just fill in. And then when I feel like counting, I will, like counting and really paying attention, I'll come down to the racism outline. Love it. This needle minder, Love is Greater Than Hate, is from Space Cat Crafting on Etsy. I'm stitching this pattern available on Ryan's website, link below. You can also get a version that says Black Lives Matter. And it is charted in this type of palette. I converted mine to Victorian motto threads because I'm on a mission to use them. Ooh! So I kind of pulled out ones that fit the palette, and then the pattern is charted with a yellow as well, and I didn't have any yellows, so I was using this like kind of pale orangey deal. I really love it. I love the palette. I love Ryan. I love fighting racism. It's just like all the win-win-wins. Also, this bag is from Cassandra. Cassie Martinez, she has a Flosstube channel. I will link her. And also she sells, there's so much jam fur on this. She sells bags over on her Instagram, and they are beautiful. I have another one, a pumpkin one that's coming in the mail. Watch it arrive today, right after I've filmed, but I'll show you, don't worry. And I love it. I'm on this vinyl front bag kick, and I love that this size bag fits in 8x8 Q-snap. I've been really into the 8x8 Q-snaps lately as well. So that's that. Okay, now you're probably like, I haven't really seen anything all that new and exciting. But we're about to get to it, don't worry. This has the new projects. Ooh. So this past week has been a doozy. I mean, all of 2020, right? And so, you know, there's been a lot of problematic news lately surrounding J.K. Rowling, and she has made some problematic statements, some very aggressively anti-trans rights statements. And I will put a link below to a really helpful resource if you are kind of sitting there like, there are some things that like I can understand, like, wait, why is this bad? Like, why are people mad? But recently she has made some further publicly anti-trans actions. And I was just really heartbroken at seeing so many Stitchers, so many just fans in general, but especially like Stitchers who I know or have at least an internet connection with, for whom like Harry Potter was such a big deal, whether they were LGBT or not. Harry Potter was such a big deal. It's such a safe space, and like I grew up with it. People my age grew up with the books and then the movies. And it just, like, even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, like, you get it. It's a very strong cultural thing, right? And so to see that breaking down and to see it actively hurting people who love the books was just breaking my heart. And so I had this little vision, and I made it a reality, and I have it posted as a free pattern over on my Instagram. Again, I'll link it below. But I started my own, and I still have a little bit to fill in, but this is just like a little piece of my heart for your heart. This is called Trans Wizards Welcome. Sorry, Jam just jumped down from the kitchen counter with a piece of lettuce. I don't know where he got that. What a weirdo. It's charted in the trans pride flag colors. I am stitching mine on a 36 count Zweigart linen in the color lavender because I had this fabric and I was like, oh, yeah, I like that. I plan to finish this and put it on, I have a Harry Potter bookshelf with house editions of the first book, and also I have a few other, like the Cursed Child and like Quidditch Through the Ages and stuff like that. And I love that little shelf. I love it so much. It brings me a lot of joy, but also right now it brings me some sadness. So now I'm bringing some joy back to it. So yeah, this is, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to spread some love to the wizarding world and to our trans wizards in general. So, free on my Instagram, share it widely, do your thing. I have asked people if they feel so inspired to donate to the Trevor Project, which focuses on mental health crisis services for LGBT youth, or your favorite other LGBT focused charity. If you need suggestions, just ask. And I actually am not stitching mine in the called for colors. It's close, but I charted it and then realized I only had like a piece of thread for the pink and the blue that I was using. Whoops. Keeping up the social justice stitching, this week was also a doozy because our beloved RBG passed away last week. I woke up from a nap and last Friday, and I had 3 different people that texted me, oh no, I'm so sad, and like, why 2020? And I was like, oh no, what happened? And that happened, and I have been sad, and I have been worried, and I have been appalled at some of the reaction and things that are happening now. And so I was super, super grateful that Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, released a free pattern on her Hemlock and Rye Stitchery website. And so I have started her pattern 9. It says when there are 9, which is part of RBG's famous quote, when will there be enough women on the Supreme Court? And she said, when there are 9. And that might sound crazy, but like there's been 9 men and no one's ever said it. Well, not ever said anything, but like no one thought that was a problem until they did. But yeah, when there are 9. And so it's charted, of course, with the collar above it. And I sat down to work on this and realized like I'm doing this on like a 36 count linen. It's a dark linen. That's gonna be kind of a doozy to do all the back stitching for. So I set it aside until I had daylight and the energy. But I am stitching this on the same color that my Be Well moon piece is on. It's a mystery fabric. I don't know. It's been suspected that it's barnwood, but I don't think it is. It's very different than my barnwood that I have in my stash. So I don't know what to think. But I am stitching mine with a Karen. Is this Karen? What are you? No, Soie Cristal. Yeah, that's Karen. But Soie Cristal silk because she deserves it. And it's gorgeous on this fabric, and it is a joy to stitch with, and hopefully it's a joy to do all that back stitch with. That makes me nervous, but I think that she deserves it, and so I plan to work on this later this weekend. So that should be a finish soon, and I'm gonna probably put it up here. Might just make this a little inspirational shelf. We'll see. So those are 2 new starts that will also be hopefully 2 finishes in my next video, but I didn't quite get them there yet. Okay, those are, that might be it as far as my stitching. It doesn't feel like that much, I know, but let me tell you that it is. This is just some yellow fabric. I forget what I was going to use it for, but we'll remember at some point. In this bag I have 2 Halloween themed stitches as well. These are projects I want to pull out for October. The first one I had hoped to finish in my Stitch Sania, and it is, this Salem Witch House, which I did not just call the Hocus Pocus house, and I'm very proud of myself for the Salem Witch House, or Witch House in Salem, from Wild Violet cross stitch. I love it, but I'm stitching it 1/2 on 40 count. This is like a solo die from Silk Weaver. And you know, 40 count is no joke, and darker 40 count is no joke. And it's the kind of piece that you kind of have to like count and pay attention to. And so it's just been a slow burn so far. I started it about this time last year. Yeah, because I think she released it in like September, October last year. Hocus Pocus Needle Minder, available at TopKnotStitcher.com, or maybe just my Etsy. I'm not sure. But I am planning to pull that one out and work on it some more. I'm stitching it not in the called for colors, but in like the called for color scheme, but I converted mine to some weeks in color and cotton. Next up, Harry Potter project bag made by Delicious Jen. Zipper pull made by me. And this has something that I have not touched in quite a while, but I wanted to share it because I'm planning to work on it this fall, and I'm reminding myself and Ryan that we're going to work on it. This is the Great Cheshire Pumpkin from Tempting Tangles. It's a beautiful haunted house stitch, and it's got cat ghosts. The problem is that this is like my favorite part of the pattern, so I'm having trouble getting further. I mean, I could just like finish this as, I would, I guess, add to the tree. I could just finish this as like a little ornament. But this was my first time stitching on 20 count or 22 count. And this is the Fabrics by LJ. I got it at the, Flosstube retreat in New Jersey last year, and it's called Blueberry Tea, and it smells like blueberry tea. It smells like fruity and delicious, and I don't know why it smells that way, but I just really love it. Moon Needle Minder and Mushroom Needle Minder from me. I don't have this Paddington one in stock anymore, but I have a different Paddington one because I love Paddington. Please look after this bear. And then we changed the color. We changed the moon. This moon is stitched in a different Soie, Crystal, Silk Weaver. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it out and it's being really stubborn. Oh no. It is, what is this? Dense Fog. Is it Moon Glow? Is it Dense Fog? Wait a minute. No, it's Dense Fog. So we're stitching it in this. Oh, this is Water Lilies. It's not the Soie Crystal. This is Water Lilies from Karen. And I just kind of like followed my gut while I was stitching and like stitched not one stitch at a time, not in a row. Like sometimes I did it in a circle, so like I did it in little sections so I could have kind of like a more natural moon effect. But that's actually charted as like a pumpkin face. And we were like, moon. And then the cats are also in another Karen Water Lily silk in the color Moon Glow, because of course. And then the tree is just like a gentle art, dark chocolate. And then I was like, well, and I think it was just because I didn't, like, we started this in New Jersey and I didn't have like a full set of anything. And then I've just kind of been like collecting random threads that I think would be good. And so I might just continue like random colors as I go. I think I'm using like a good number of silks in this piece. These are from this is a Fibrolicious silk. Don't remember where it's from. This is just Pumpkin Harvest, typical color, crescent colors. It's just cotton. I have some Moe's Sale in here that look like they might be silk. They are like, oh, you know what? These are from Delicious Jen. Sent me a few Fibrolicious silks, and I was like, these are fun and bright and Halloween-y, right? So the pattern is like a giant haunted house. It's not necessarily made for all of these like crazy colors, but we are gonna find a way to make it work. So I am excited to work on this. I need to remind Ryan that we're working on this month. I don't know if she remembers, but we are. My chart is in there. I don't have the like cover page with the picture out, or I would show you. But you can get this pattern. I think you can get it from the Tempting Tangles Etsy shop. I don't know if they have a website. And I don't carry the pattern in my shop, but I am thinking now maybe I should. So maybe I will add that to my next order from them. Okay, next up, 30 minutes. It's time for a sip of Diet Coke. It's just the best. Okay, this bag has some other projects that I want to start or want to continue working on. And it also has my bag of give ups. What should we start with? I think we should end with the give ups. Okay, so this bag are other projects that I want to start and have been like itching to start for quite a while. The first one is one that I plan to stitch with Jen, Delicious Threads. She and I, back in, oh goodness, Jen, when it was a long time ago, we had like a business buddies meetup. I think it was like this time last year, because I was picking out, I needed to finalize a color choice for a custom wedding design that I was stitching, and the wedding was in October, so it was around like August, September, and I'm sure it was post, well, she wasn't in New Jersey, but I think it was post New Jersey. Anyway, we went to our LNS together, we did a little stitching, we did a little shopping. I brought along this chart that I wanted to pick out some fabric for, and she was like, oh, I love that, I want to stitch it too. Let me also get some fabric and floss and things. And so things happened, and we were like looking around and like, ho hum, what are we going to, is this the fabric we picked out? Well, now I'm really confused. Yes, okay. Okay. I don't know why I just got so confused, because I had in my head that it was going to be like an aqua, because that's like her favorite fabric color, but I'm thinking of something else. Everything's fine. Anyway, yes. Yeah, this is a fatty. I think that, yeah, okay. We got some 40 count Lakeside linen. This is the color Cloudy, and it's this like really, it's not showing up super well. It's got like a pinkish hue to it, almost like a pale truffle. Picture this plus truffle, you know? It's not really showing up that well. But I think she got the same fabric or a similar fabric. And then we also went through the thread list, and we were trying to decide like if anyone needed to be, it's charted for DMC, and so we were looking through to see if anybody should be converted to a fun color. And so we picked out Dublin Bay, which will be the sky for the bottom portion, and then also, I don't know if she also picked this one out or if I just tossed it in here, but Forest Glade, which I think is the color of the flower pot. So we keep talking about starting it together. We were going to start it together in Arizona, and then we were going to start it together at StitchCon. And of course, we have not been able to do those things yet, but I also just haven't started it in general. So we need to do that, Jen, and I'm really excited to. I have it in a Love You More studio book sleeve with fireflies on it because of course. And I don't really know how I feel about it. Obviously that doesn't really fit the way I just shoved it in, and obviously this chart doesn't fit, but it is cute. And I like the general idea. I just feel like I would drop lots of things with an open bag situation like that. Okay, Abigail, keep yourself on track. Okay, other things I really want to work on. Like, really want to work on. First up, this is a new bag that I have acquired. I got this on, I think, Stash Unloading, and I loved the birds. I loved the funky leaves. I loved the colors. It's got like a nice, of course, a vinyl front because that's my jam right now. And then it's got like a nice coordinating fabric, like a batik inside, which I dig. It's super well made. I forget who I got it from, but I should have remembered and like saved her name so I could look when she has other bags. It was super well priced. I don't remember anymore. So yeah, I've always been kind of hesitant to buy like homemade bags from people I don't know. Like, I know Emily, Diana, Cassie, Jen, other awesome people who make awesome bags, but like this random person on a Facebook group, I had no idea. The picture looked good, but like, I don't know. It's a great bag. So inside of this bag, I have the materials to stitch the Blue Flowers Be Well and Stitch Freebie, which of course I don't have a picture of, but it is like a really gorgeous little floral blah blah with some text in the middle in like beautiful cursive. Got some neighbors doing their thing. My windows are open. Welcome to my life. But it says, let joy be unconfined. And I'm all about finding the small joys. And so I got she has it charted for Dinky Dyes, and I think she has a DMC conversion listed, but I just really loved the colors. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be stocking some Dinky Dyes in my shop. I should start with these 9 colors. So I have these 9 colors as well as like I probably have like 25 or 30 Dinky Dyes in stock right now. I would love to carry more, but I also have been kind of buying them on a like project by project as requested basis. If you ever come across a project and you want the Dinky Dyes for it or anything for it, please reach out to me because I can kit things up for you. I recently kitted up something with Dinky Dyes, and it also enabled me to place this purchase for all the other Dinky Dyes that I needed. So all that to say, look at how gorgeous that is. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I love these colors. I've realized like I do really enjoy these kind of muted, paler colors. Obviously this one is pretty bright, but the rest are just lovely. And I was trying to see, this is 36 count sand from Picture This Plus, which is just like a nice neutral. I think this was actually something I bought for a customer and then they didn't need it or want it, or we bought like, I got like a couple different colors and this one was the wrong one. It's also a little pinker than is showing up here, but it's a nice splotchy neutral, and I just kept it for myself because she didn't need it. And so I think that's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Would love to start soon, but I think I'm gonna do like a 1-for-1, finish something then we can start something type of approach. Okay, next up, we have this cute little bag. This is a similar piece of fabric, though this one is 36 count earthen, and it is definitely pinker. Oh, this one I can't actually tell you that much about, but I will tell you that it is for a very new upcoming TopKnot release. I'm gonna release it without finishing my stitch, but I'm using DMC 1 and 3. Again, loving these like muted colors on earthen, and I'm super excited about it. Super excited. Sorry to taunt you without proper information, but there's really nothing else to show yet. I'm hoping to release that pattern next week, but I'm kind of behind schedule on where that should be. Okay, other things I want to start. My sister has been doing some cross stitch, and when she came to help me at market, we ended up finding her a starter pattern, which was Tiny Modernist San Francisco, because she visited me. She loves tiny modern things. It's nice and small, which definitely I think is appealing to both her design aesthetic, because she's probably going to put these into like a scrapbook and not necessarily put them all over her house, and small enough to be like accessible for a newer stitcher. She's also gotten really into crochet, so it's good that I haven't started mine yet, because she's had other things to keep her busy as well. And so we are stitching it in some of the called for, and also some like slightly adjusted colors based on what I had. But I sent her the flosses. We're using all the DMC except for Blue Topaz by Weeks Dye Works, which I love. That's going to be the color of the water, and I think it's going to look gorgeous. She's going to stitch hers on white. I am stitching mine on this like random aqua scrap that I got ages ago and don't remember what it is or where it's from. I think it's a 28 count, maybe it's a 32, who knows, but that'll be a fun quick stitch. That's been in my like start this since March. And then next up, I still have my Wild Violet Mania pieces that I am excited to start soon. I don't have the patterns to show you, but I hope you remember what they are. I will link them below. First up, I have finally picked out the fabric that I want to use for my Primitive Tarot Notions booklet project fold. I think it's just called Notions book. If you go back to the first video that I did with Ryan when we were in Asheville together last year, she shows her finish of this little needle book, and it's really awesome, and I'm constantly losing my scissors even just while sitting in the same place, so I could use something like this. And so I had decided I wanted to use these Otterly Neck Stitches threads that I got in, I think, like a Bendy D stash. And I have two skeins of this color Hidden, which is like a dark purpley black to navy, and it's just like really, really lovely. Yeah, look at that. Yes. And I was trying to figure out what to put it on, and eventually I got this desert sand linen from Witchold, and it is like stiff, but you know what? It's gonna be a functional needle book. I need it to have some structure, and maybe this will limit my need to use interfacing, or at least make it even stronger once I put interfacing on it. So that's gonna happen. And this I think would be like a fairly quick-ish stitch, because it's not like full coverage, but there is like assembly required, so we'll see if that happens. And then also on this gorgeous walnut linen, I will be putting my Beverly and Barnaby little cute vintage Halloween ghost and ghost cat that I helped influence the designs and names of. So I was gonna do like Wild Violet Mania and stitch all the Wild Violet and start all the Wild Violet and like May 2020. So I will get there eventually. Oh, here's the silks for Wolly Doodle on the little keepsakes thread keep, which looks like the keepsake shopping bag. It's just the cutest. It's the cleverest like shop promotion item I've seen in a long time, and I was like, good job. I mean, it was like shop promotion item that you purchase. Mad respect. Okay, and then in here, this is something that I started for Mania last year, and I got like a little bit more progress on it and was feeling good about it. I think I finished the main color for this cat, but it is Witch Cat by Barbara Anna, which I'm stitching on 32 count exotic orchid Lugana, and there's a reason for that I will show you soon. I obviously made mine an orange cat. It's a witch pattern, and so you might suspect that, yes, it's charted to be a black cat with a witch riding him. Oh, it's so cute. I changed, excuse me, I changed mine to orange. I'm gonna change all the other colors as well. Well, I might keep the witches. Witches have kind of orange hair, so they could have that, but they have like purple dresses, so that might not look great, but we'll see what happens. In a moment, I'm going to show you an FFO related to this piece. No! Just people shouting outside. I also have Week's Moonglow that I stashed in here, and I don't think I decided what I was going to use it for exactly, but maybe that'll be the witch's face or clothes or hair or the cat nose. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. It's a fun, whimsical piece where I feel like the colors can really be anything that you want them to be. So that's another like Halloween themed piece that I'm excited to continue working on. And I will show you why right after we do UFOs. Yesterday, I was like wanting to stitch, but not really able to focus on stitching. And when that happens, I organize my stash. So recently I went through and I was like bobbinating and putting away DMC in the number order so that I can mostly find the DMC that I have, unless it's with a project, and then good luck. And so I'd already done that, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with my life? Go through my stash, of course, and pick out some things to de-stash, because my taste has evolved, and also my time has evolved, and that changes things. So I went through, and mostly I pulled out some patterns that were like just in my stash of patterns that I'm gonna de-stash. But then I went through my bag of whips and kits. And I came across a few things that are gonna go. Let's start with this one. This was a Mania start. This was something that I did like the minimum Mania requirements, and then I moved on, and I never came back to it, and I picked it up a couple different times and was kind of like, meh. And so I kind of did that again, and it's really cute. I'll probably still keep the pattern on this one actually, but I'm gonna rip out my start and use this fabric for something else. And it is Olga by Plum Street Samplers. I love this chart because my mom's name is Olga, and it has a cat, and it's autumnal. I don't love alphabets, so I feel like when I do stitch it, I will probably stitch the cat and then just like put in some text of some kind, or I don't know, maybe just the cat and he's got a couple little pumpkins and a flower. Like, he's super cute. You ready to see how far I got? CX. Yeah. I was pretty excited to stitch this on 25 count 1/1. This is Bone Lugana. It's It's a nice creamy neutral, and I thought that would look super good. And then I really just was like, oh, no. I might even keep this piece of fabric in here and just plan to stitch the cat that way, because I do enjoy the 1/1 25 count sometimes. So that's a give up, or kind of a redo, because I don't know, whatever. Okay, this other one I also didn't get like very far on, but I just realized, like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I bought this set of charts, I don't know, a ways back on Stash and Load. This is Rosewood Manor Winter. These came out in 2018, and they had the House of Embroidery thread packs. There's one for each season. I got just the charts on a Stash and Load site. I had kind of hesitated on whether or not to stitch them, and I had to like kit them up myself, and what was I gonna do? And then at the New Jersey retreat, there were a few stitchers who were gonna start this one, and I was like, oh, perfect. So I kitted it up, and I was like, that's perfect, because I can check that my colors like make sense with the called for hand-dyed, or not hand-dyed, House of Embroidery. And I started it, and this is a random linen that I don't know the count of, and like, it's fine. I liked that this one is very poinsettia-y, but I was just like, you know what? No. And so I already had destashed the other seasons since this start, and now I'm gonna destash the final season. Sorry, Karen Kluba. It's just not for me. Okay, this next one is like, I find truly shocking for myself. Yeah. So I started the Sun and Moon Sampler from Owl Forest. Look how gorgeous. You can get this as a PDF download from their site. I don't think this is one that they do as kits. But I started mine. I had pulled out all these different beautiful Victorian motto threads that I was excited to use it for, and I don't know what this fabric is, but it's really nice, and it's really big, and I started it on it, and I'm going to stop. But like, it's not a lot of stitching, but it's not no stitching. Oh, look how fun this fabric is. That's just some lint. So yeah, I'm stopping. I think like before I destash the chart, I might stitch just the moon, but I definitely just don't feel called to do the whole pattern anymore. And that's very freeing. Plus now I have this whole fat quarter that I can use for something else. Don't know what yet, but I will find it. I will find something. So those are my 3 UFOs. I know they don't really feel like, really like this was the only one that I was kind of hesitant about. The other 2 are like, I barely stitched on this. It doesn't even count. But I thought I would share with you and encourage you in your own UFO journey, should you be on one. Okay, FFOs and such. Before I lose you entirely, because this has already been too long, I want to show real quick again. This was my new pattern release from TopKnot Stitcher shop. I made it for myself, but also I made it for you. I keep this hanging up right by my door, and then there's a hook underneath that I hang a few masks on, so I can really easily grab one when I'm on my way out, and then I can just toss it in my laundry on my way back in, and it's perfect. I really love it. It's charted in 5 colors from the 1 through 35 chunk of colors. It's on a 16 count peaceful purple Ada because I had a ton of it. And so you can get the PDF pattern on my website and my Etsy shop, but on my website you can also get a little kit. Look at that. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. The kit comes with a ribbon, but I changed mine to twine because I knocked it over and Jam stole the ribbon. I got it back from him before he ate it, don't worry. But it was chewed up, and I could have added a different ribbon, but I just added this, and I realized when I tried this before, I had a super long piece of twine and I didn't like it. And so I tried this piece of twine and I was like, oh, yeah, I like that. So I might also add some twine to this. I'm not really sure, but I'm really proud of it. And I'm really proud of this. So again, it's in my Etsy shop if you want to check it out. It's okay, it needs to go back up by the door so I don't forget my mask. I love it. Okay. Should we do FOs before the FFOs? I think so. I have two things that I was going to finish into pillows, but then I did not quite get around to it. And so I will show you the unfinished versions, and then hopefully next time we talk, they will have been finished into pillows. I was gonna like get out my sewing machine and everything, so it was serious business. This one I haven't shown yet because I finished it at the end of August. But this is the Lindy Stitches Free Mystery Stitch Along Onward Noble Steed. I was gonna change and add some like spikes so he'd be a dragon, and I was like, maybe he can just be his alligator self, and I know that he's really a dragon or a dinosaur or something. I'm not sure. Since I haven't FFO'd him yet, I can still change him. I love him. He's in the called for DMC, except I changed her dress is a Victorian motto, not exotic orchid because that's that fabric, something. And then the alligator is my like best floss choice I've maybe ever made in my entire life. This fabric, by the way, random scrap of linen that was in a box of random scraps of linen that I got. This is Coloring Cotton. It is unnamed. It's from last year's Halloween mystery box. And I was like just waiting and waiting and waiting till I had the right thing to use it for. And oh my goodness, it was him. I was waiting for my alligator crocodile dinosaur. So that is going to be finished with some velveteen on the back. Oh my goodness. And then I also have some chenille trim on the way. So I'm gonna have like a full-on proper like finish, which like, you know me, I usually stick it in a frame. But also maybe I just send these out for finishing because I don't know, we'll see. The other one I shared this, I don't actually know if I've shared this as a finished stitch. Maybe I have. I did a stitch with me when I was working on it. This is a fundraiser PDF that I released back in June. This is Say Her Name, Breonna Taylor. The proceeds from this chart are being donated to 3 different organizations: the Breonna Taylor Justice for Breonna Taylor Fund, the Louisville Community Bail Fund, and the Conscious Kids Anti-Racism Children's Book Education Fund, which is a mouthful. If you don't follow the Conscious Kid on Instagram, I highly recommend it. They post some really, really well done like infographic content that's in a nice like bite-sized manageable amount. And I am from Louisville, so this is a current event that is very close to my heart and has been on my mind this week. So I think it's kind of extraordinary that I happen to be filming. If you're not aware of what's going on with Breonna Taylor, I will put some links below where you can learn more. I'm really sad at my city and my state right now, my home state. We can do better. We can do better. People over property, it's just like, it's not that hard. I have it charted just in one color, so you can really do it anyway. There have been some really lovely, I should put together like a slideshow of the finishes I've seen. There have been some people who have done like multiple colors within it, like the the goldenrod will be one, and these words, and then Brianna. I like to, let me just, in case my symbolism is not clear enough. This is goldenrod, which is the Kentucky state flower. Brianna's name is under the soil because she is acting as the roots of a whole new racial justice revival. She and many others. And we need to say her name because I'm gonna move on because I can't handle this. She is gonna be trimmed with some Lady Dot lace in the color Mary Jane's. I think that's gonna look really nice. It's kind of like a dark gray. I ended up stitching mine. This is 36 count Tycho. I've been on buying random 36 count colors. Tycho from Picture This Plus, and I stitched mine with Gentle Arts Soot. And I love it. For the month of September, given the news this week and the continuing protests in Louisville, which I wish I could participate in a more tangible way, but I cannot. All of the sales from this month's pattern, rather than being divided between the three, all of the sales from September are going to the Louisville Community Bail Fund. So if you haven't already purchased it and you would like to make a small donation towards a very good cause, you can do so. If you want to make a direct donation, please go feel free and do that. I have right now, I think I have 2 patterns left that have been donated. So if you don't have the money to donate, but you would like to participate and spread awareness. I also just find these stitches like this and the When There Are 9 and my little Trans Wizards pattern, like when I'm feeling really just hopeless and lost in all of the terrible news of the world and just like see so much hatred and bigotry and sadness and hurt in the world, and I'm just like, I don't even know if like my faith can hold up to all of the pain that I'm experiencing. Like, these are dark times. And so I find stitching such a helpful, calming, prayerful, meditative practice that like gets me through to the other side of that dark feeling. And I hope the same can be true for you. Obviously, pretty much any stitching can do that, but I find that stitching on like meaningful, fundraising, social justice, awarenessing patterns really helps me with that. Sorry for the noise outside. Anyway, so those are 2 almost FFOs that I just ran out of time for because I was doing 4 other FFOs, like full-on FFOs. Are you ready for this? Because I don't know which one is my favorite, honestly. These are delightful. Okay, they are also all a little bit linty because I'll deal with that later. Okay, first up, this is something I finished a long time ago. And it's just been waiting because it's kind of a weird skinny size. And then I found this frame and I was like, this will be good for something. And then I was going through my box of frames and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I might paint it, I might not, because it already looks great. Oh, this is Something Wicked by La-Di-Da. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Look how perfect it is in this frame. What I also love about it is that I just cut a piece of cardboard that matched the size. Seriously? Who's playing that music? Could be worse music, but could be no music. My window right here overlooks a driveway, and so if they're like hanging out outside their house, the sound is just kind of like an echo chamber up here. Like that sounds like it's inside my house. So apologies, but we have a soundtrack for the FFO parade. Anyway, I wrapped it around some cardboard. I used double-sided tape, available at TopKnotStitcher.com. to secure it. And then I just like shoved it back in. It had these little like, these things that I had just like bent to get out the backing, and then I hadn't pulled them all out yet. And I just was able to bend them back in, and then so I didn't have random bits of fabric wanting to come undone, I just cut a little piece of cardstock to go over it, and it worked. I realized that this frame doesn't have a hook, but that's okay because I don't know where I'm going to hang it up yet. And anyway, I'm just super, super proud of it. This was one of my first projects on 40 count. It's on 40 count putty by Weeks. I think these are both in DMC. I stitched it 2/2 on 40 count, which I will never do again, but I do like how nice and dense and fluffy it is. These are two different overdyes that I don't, oh, one is steamed broccoli. I think the other one's Victorian Motto. You don't really care. I do just love it. I love the little spiders. They do have 8 legs, Ryan. It's so fun. I don't know why. This like normally would not really be my jam, but suddenly it is. Thank goodness that music stopped. Okay, that's one. This other one we'll keep with the Halloween theme, and then we'll break the Halloween theme. This is another Barbara Anna. This is also on Exotic Orchid Lugana. Oh, this is Witch House. I love it. It's my first ever trivet finish. This is a trivet that Michelle Bendy Stitchy sent me, and I've been like, I don't know what to use this for. I don't know what to use this for. I feel bad that she like went through the trouble of sending me a trivet and I don't even have a use for it. And this is what I was waiting for. Was a cute pattern that would fit perfectly. So this is a nice little pattern. I ended up changing all the colors, most of the colors, once I stitched like the outline of the house and a couple other things. And then I was like, these colors are kind of boring. I think I want to do something more fun. And so I just started pulling random colors. And at retreats, well, the Arizona retreat, I would just be like, hey, you done with that Ort? Because it's in your Ort jar. I'm going to take it. And I would stitch something. I grabbed like a bag of random floss off the freebie table, and I just stitched random things in random places in random colors. It was so much fun. And I plan to continue doing that because it's super fun for a retreat where then you just don't really have to care and pay attention to things. And since the pattern itself was a bit more rectangular, I thought rather than have empty space on both sides, let's get a little fun and creative. So this is some Lady Duck Creates lace in the color, I think, Petticoat. Oh wait, yes, because I even wrote the details on the back. Threads, random orts, fabric and trim, Exotic Orchid 32 count Lugana, Petticoat lace, Lady Duck Creates, trivet from Bendy. I love it. I love it so much. So I have Witch Cat. There's also Witch In, which I will also do on the same fabric. I don't know if there's any more in that like theme or series of sorts. My goodness, they're being so loud. Okay, next up is a reframe of something I finished ages ago. This was one of my first like legit cross stitch projects after I got back into stitching. Like one of the first times I picked out a pattern and the fancy floss, and I think this one I stitched on I can't tell what I stitched it on. It's definitely like, I think it's like 28 count something. It's like a creamy neutrally. Okay, it's oh whale. I stitched this ages ago. It's in the called for colors, except I think this text was supposed to be in gray, and I thought, why? And the anchor was supposed to be in that color or something. Like I was just like, oh, I want this. I love it so much. I had it in just like a plain black frame, and then like 2 years ago, it's been waiting for this for a while. Actually, this has been finished for a while, but it was in my box of things to finish. I found this frame and I was like, ooh, that's a fun frame. That'll be good for some stitching. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have the perfect stitch because it's all nautical, and how adorable is that stack of whales? I just cannot even. The problem is that it has a vertical hanger. So, I mean, I could just hang it like that, I guess. So I need to switch that up in order to get it hanging somewhere, or maybe just put it on one of these shelves. Okay, last but not least, the big kahuna. My dad used to always say that. This is not a fully finished, because I am going to add some other like autumn picks and doodads, but I couldn't really find any, and so I just grabbed a few leaves. They are scotch taped on here. But this is a spooky night to all. This was our Primitive Hair Retreat exclusive chart that we got last year at the Sassy Jacks Primitive Hair Halloween Retreat. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I finished it a ways back, but I've been waiting and wanting to FFO it on this wooden pumpkin that I got at the Target dollar spot for $3. It might have actually been after it was on sale for $1.50. I don't remember. I added some leaves and a little twine. I'm gonna add some burlap and I don't know, probably, this is like barely mounted on this board. I won't pop it off yet. So I might put some like burlap stuff behind it. We're gonna see what happens, but you get the gist of it. I love it. The called for is stitched on Old Salem Spell. I switched mine to Crunchy October because look how deliciously perfect it is. Ryan is stitching hers on the Dark Spell linen, which is one of the like printed linens with like branches and stuff. It's in my shop, TopKnot.Stitcher.com. It's just stitched in DMC, except I switched the cat is in Fallen Leaves from Classic Colorworks, and because I made the cat orange, I switched the colors of the letters so that it wasn't a giant orange H right next to the cat. I love it. I made a mistake in my border. I left it because it makes me laugh. I made another mistake in my border, so everything's shifted over a little bit. Well, technically this is all in the right spot, but my border is wrong. I was going to add some more over here, and then I thought, you know what? No, just do it. Just leave it. Everything's fine. So this brings us to the very exciting giveaway, because I have our exclusive retreat piece, which may be released by the Primitive Hair at some point. I don't know that she really has like a set schedule or system for how she does that, but you can maybe get this pattern through Sassy Jacks exclusively, but I don't know if that's true. But what you can do is you can win it from me right now. Okay, so let's talk about it. I have my full kit from the class. Excuse me. I have my full kit from the class. So it's a little finishing kit included. So you get the Old Salem Spell linen. I added in the 3DMC that we use. You get some twine and the like backing fabric, and they're kind of hidden, but some little felt leaves, because the way that it was finished, the way the model was finished was like this, into a little wall hanging. Look how cute that is. But I really loved my little pumpkin thing, and so I'm going with that, and so you get the benefit of it. Oh, I should have grabbed the other. So there's also, I'm gonna cover him up just in case you feel like stitching from a screenshot, which like who does that? But it also has this little pumpkin cat on the back. It's just a little black cat, which I actually stitched as a black cat. Don't tell Jam. And we had a little like hand cut wooden pumpkin frame to go with it. Anyway, both of those charts are included. Oh, this chart is so fun. It's so good. And it's like pretty reasonable. It's 86 by 128. So you can totally do that. Okay, so you can get this plus everything you need to stitch it. This is an exclusive. I don't know how exclusive it is, but it is at least somewhat exclusive. If you're interested in stitching this, you need to leave a comment. And what I would like you to do is go to my website, TopKnotStitcher.com, search for primitive hair, and tell me your favorite thing that I have in my shop. I don't have all primitive hair, but I've got some fabric, I've got some charts. Tell me what is your favorite, or a few favorites, or tell me what you wish I carried, because why don't I carry, you know, this other really cool chart that you wish you could stitch, or whatever it may be. Leave me a primitive hair comment. You may just get like something that you love in your, if you win, get a little extra. Maybe not, but maybe. Anyway, leave a comment. This video is gonna go up, let's see, today is like the 26th. I'll have this video up by the 27th. I wanna get it to you prior to Halloween. I will ship anywhere in the world, so if you are not in the US, it might take longer, so you might not get it by Halloween. But I am going to close this giveaway on October 13th. How spooky. I have no idea what day of the week that is. October 13th, I will make a giveaway winner video. I will pick a winner who has left a comment that includes a comment about primitive hair items. Please use the word primitive hair in your comment. That will help. But I think it'll be fine. Just tell me, go to my site. What's your favorite primitive hair stuff I got? Let me know. You could win. I might post on Instagram a way to get additional entries, but I'm not really sure about the logistics of that, and I don't want to, like, this will be the main place to enter, and then you can maybe also get a bonus entry by doing something on Instagram, but I'm not sure. Or Facebook, I don't know. Please be subscribed, please give this video a thumbs up, blah, blah, blah. And please have a spooky night. I love it. I gotta zhuzh it up some more, but I love it. I also like that this pumpkin is like camouflaged with these shelves, which is cool, but also that might make it hard to hang it up in here. We'll see what happens. Who knows? It coordinates nicely, at least. Okay, we do actually have a few more things to talk about. Because I have some haul to share as well. So if the haul is not your thing, that's okay. You don't have to stay. I think you should, but you don't have to. So this is haul, which also includes some like shop highlights, because they're things that I carry in my shop, like new releases that I am in love with. And then I'm gonna also share some happy mail and a bunch of stuff that I don't carry in my shop. We're just gonna start at the top, which I think is the new shop stuff. This is a new, I don't know how to say this designer, Ibeticour. I don't know if that's right. This is one of their new Halloween charts, and I just love like the little polka dot pumpkin on the polka dot fabric, and like the little bowl of candy, and this witch who's on top of a stack of pumpkins, like, and the little witch flying with her little polka dot robe. Like, I just love it. I just love it. It's stitched in DMC. It's stitched on a Zweigart 35 count petty point linen, which I've never stitched on, and I really like it with this. I love the border. It's got pumpkins and little like flowery things. I like that it's not like the same all the way around, because I sometimes just don't stitch borders. I just think it's super cute. This is another new one from Madame Chantilly, who, thank you for having a name I can pronounce. It's called Halloween Week, and it is like, it just makes me giggle. It's this little shelf with some jars and some candles and some ghosts and some keys. So you have a jar with a skull. The candles say treat or treat, boo. No, it says treat or treat. Like they spelled treat. Trick. They spelled trick wrong. But I would stitch it as treat or treat because I only want treats, no tricks. And then these ghosts who have the cutest little squiggly arms. And I just love it. And the little witch, she's super cute. And the cat. This I think is like a pumpkin bundt cake. I'm not really sure. But it's cute. It's all cute. I love it. I don't know why it's called Halloween Week because it's a shelf. I don't know. They have it also on the back. There's like an alternate smaller version where you just have 3 of the little jarred guys. So like you could even just like cut off that part of the shelf if you wanted the shelf, but not this cake thing. Anyway, love it. Another new Madame Chantilly that I super dig is called Halloween Can. And it's a can of pumpkin, but there's a cat with a witch hat inside and then little pumpkins and the little bat and like, oh my goodness. And it says Good Halloween above it. 100% pure pumpkin. It's so cute. So again, I think I will definitely change this cat to orange. I think I would leave the pumpkin orange. I would make the can like gray or black or something, and then change the cat to orange. Because then you don't want too much orange in there. But oh, that's so cute. It's so cute. Like, who thinks of this? Okay, this is another new one. This one I like for those of you who are into fall stitching, but you don't necessarily care about like witches and Halloween stitching. This is Harvest Time from Lila's Studio. And like she is just living her best fall day ever with her cat in her wagon, the pumpkins, the squirrel. This little sign says fall pumpkin picking. You have the little pumpkins in the cauldron. You could just stitch those as all pumpkins if you wanted. You have your leaf and acorn border. Again, I really like that you don't have the same border all the way around, but you still get the structure of a border with this piece. I really love it. It's charted in Classic Colorworks and Gast. Interesting. Also, there's another one called All Hallows Eve, which is witchy. It's got a little girl and a witch, and like, I didn't bring it out here because it's not in my stash at this moment in time because I like her and her little beret. Oh, it's just so cute, and the little crow, and oh, I love it. I love too that it's finished on like a little wooden pumpkin. I wonder where they got that idea from my awesome pumpkin piece. No, but wouldn't that be cool? So I love that. And then this, oh, I have 2 more. This is a new release from Pedal Pusher. Witches Make Stitches, and it's a little witch. What is with all these red-haired, well, she's not a witch, but this one is. Just sitting with her cat by the fire stitching, and I just think that is super, super cute. Yeah, super cute. And like, it's nice and little. It's only 77 by 58. That's nothing, right? And then finally, the latest Quirky Quaker is a cute little bat. I love cute little bats. I didn't know I love cute little bats, but I do. I really do. So those are new charts. There are a bunch of other new charts in my shop as well, so don't forget to check those out too. Some not so new charts that I have acquired. This is from Stitchy Kitty, and I got it because obviously Cat Ghost. It's called Meowie Halloween. Oh, these are mostly, the rest of these are from like Stash Unload and stuff like that. I also have Old Witch Mary. Old Witch Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? Which is from Not Forgotten Farm. I don't know if I've showed this one. This is Harvest Time by Chessie and Me. Because it's just cute and fall. And again, you get the structure of a border without stitching a normal border. I like that. I might have shown this one already. I got this on Stash Unload, but it's also a primitive hair Trick or Treat pumpkin stitch. I don't know if this one is from... I'm sorry for the noise. We'll hang up shortly. This is unusual, but it is annoying. Also, I have to take my nap right after this. No, no. Stop. Okay, we're gonna cut haul short because it's just too annoying to handle. But look how cute he is. And he's probably stitched on, yeah, Old Salem linen. Available at TopKnotStitcher.com. You know it. Okay, I do want to share these things before we go. Some of these cannot wait. Well, this is just legacy linen. You don't really need to see it. But this is my first ever X-Jude Designs linen that I got from Garon Stitchery. Did you know, so Garon toten bags, which are awesome. I don't actually have one, but I've seen them and they're awesome. They also have like a whole online shop. I had no idea. And they have X-Jude Design fabric. Excuse me. And so this is a 36 count because I can't stop buying it. And it's this color called Halloween Midnight. And it's this awesome purple. I'm not going to take it out, and I apologize for the crinkles, but you can see it's beautiful. So thank you, Gary and Ron. Ron or Ronnie? Okay, last thing before we go. This is some Happy Mail of sorts that I got from Lauren, Cat Lady Stitcher. She has an Etsy shop. Her Etsy shop is called Lauren McKinney Designs. I will link her below. Look how cute. She wrote me a really cute little card. And I'm not going to read it because it's mine, but look how cute. And then it comes so cutely packaged, and she has a little sticker with her logo and everything. And let's see if I can get this opened again. It's almost too well packaged. So she has a new business. Well, I think she's had her Etsy shop for a while, and she did like custom paintings. And now she has a sticker shop, and she still does like custom digital prints or something, I think. Oh no, get out of there. Okay, so let me show you. Ooh, it smells like Berkeley outside. Ooh, no wonder they're so happy. Okay, so I ordered a few things that spoke to my heart. I'm gonna do them in order of heart speakage. I got this cute little plant. It's a sticker. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I love it. I'll probably put it on my iPad case. I got a Hamilton sticker. Awesome. Wow. Which I might give to my boyfriend, because he's been really into Hamilton. But maybe I'll buy myself another one. Don't worry. She has a bunch of new designs, including some Gilmore Girls designs now. And I am excited. And then also chocolate chip cookie, which is my favorite food. So yes. And then she included a little freebie, and it's a little mask, which is super cute. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him either, but super cute. So go check her out. I will link her below as well. Yeah, Lauren McKinney Designs, Etsy. Super cute stickers. She has a bunch of Hamilton ones. She has a bunch of like cool, like inspirational quotes and scripture stuff, and I'm sure some Harry Potter. And I forget what else, and she's added stuff since I bought these a few weeks ago. So go check her out. Thank you for sitting through this super long video. If you got this far, leave your comment as prescribed to enter my giveaway, and have a really awesome end to your September and beginning to your October, and happy almost Halloween season, and happy fall, and thanks for being here.